Part 1. Fundamental rights.
Human rights and fundamental freedoms.
Article 2, equality.
Article 3 is on the right to self-determination.
Article 4, autonomy and self-governance.
Indigenous peoples have the right to maintain the strengthen their distinct.
Article 6, nationality.
This is Chapter 7, Self-Government and Indigenous Laws.
Article 8 on UN Declaration on Indigenous People states that cultural integrity, perpetuation, prevention.
Article 9 is community nation without discrimination.
Minimum standards and respect for human rights.
Article 10, free, prior, and informed consent prior to removal and...
Article 11.1. Indigenous peoples have the right to practice and revitalize their cultural traditions and customs.
Article 12.1. Indigenous peoples have the right to manifest, practice, develop, and teach their spiritual and religious traditions, customs, and ceremonies.
Article 13. Language to preserve, philosophy and place, participate in proceedings.
Article 14, education in culture and language.
Article 15, education and public information to promote peace in society.
Article 16, media and cultural.
Article 17, employment, labor, protection from exploitation.
Article 18 in the United Nations Declaration on Rights of Indigenous People is indigenous decision-making and institutions.
Article 19 states shall consult and cooperate in good faith with the indigenous people concerned.
Article 20, subsistence and development in economic.
Article 21.1. Indigenous peoples have the right, without discrimination, to the improvement of their economic and social conditions.
Article 22. Ensure protection for elders, women, youth, children, and persons with disabilities.
Article 23. Determine and administer right to economic and social development.
Article 24, it says, traditional medicine and holistic protection of resources, progressive realization of physical and mental health.
Reading Article 25. Distinctive relationship with land and responsibility to future generations for resources, waters and territories.
Article 26. Land rights and legal recognition of indigenous systems.
Article 27, due recognition of indigenous lands and resources through fair process based on participation.
Article 28.1. Indigenous peoples have the right to redress by means that can include restitution or, when this is not possible, just, fair, and equitable compensation for the lands, territories, and resources which they have traditionally owned or otherwise occupied or used, and which have been confiscated, taken, occupied, used, or damaged without their free, prior, and informed consent.
Article 29, environmental conservation and protection, health promotion.
Article 30. 1. Military activities shall not take place in the lands or territories of Indigenous peoples unless justified by a significant threat to relevant public interest or otherwise freely agreed with or requested by the Indigenous peoples.
Article 31, cultural heritage, traditional property, and intellectual property.
And Article 33, indigenous identity and citizenship based on custom.
Article 34, indigenous legal structures and customary practices.
And then Article 35, indigenous responsibilities in indigenous communities.
And Article 36 says, contact and cooperation over division due to borders.
Article 37, recognition of treaty rights and observation of agreements.
Article 38 states national measures for achievement of declaration articles.
Full realization of rights through cooperation and assistance from UN systems and intergovernmental organizations.
Article 43 standard limit for minimum standard force violence.
So Article 42. Promotion and application of Declaration articles through UN specialized agencies and permanent forum on indigenous issues.
Article 44, guaranteeing of gender equality.
Articles 40, 45, possible futures for indigenous people's rights.
Article 46, respect for UN Charter and promotion of principles of peace, justice, and human rights.
Aloha. Thank you for watching our program on the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. It's a simplified version featuring Indigenous peoples from all 7 regions of the world sharing the rights of Indigenous peoples as enshrined in the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples that was adopted on 13 September 2007. This important document was created over 2 decades by Indigenous peoples negotiating and using nonviolence to make sure that their rights were recognized in international law for the first time, and also that this UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples would not be new rights, but actually recognize the collective nature of existing international human rights law, and also allow a context so that states and Indigenous peoples in partnership can create a better future for Indigenous peoples of the world. We hope you're able to watch this UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples intense, short summary and be able to learn your rights. If you don't demand your rights and you don't claim your rights, you'll never be able to have your rights recognized under international law, and we hope this can be a positive introduction to human rights education for you. Aloha, maluhia me kapana,